Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording session of Hearthstone. So we've got 3rd quest and it's 11:20 p.m. So I've got in the next 25 minutes, theoretically, I need to finish something. Play 20 minions that cost 5 or more, play 15 demons. I think we can do that with the demon deck. We have a tavern brawl here. So maybe this will work for us. How much are you willing to sacrifice for power? All your spells will cost health instead of mana. Let's do this. Well, let's see. I need to play a warlock deck, but I also kind of need to do something. Let's see what this one does. This ought to be interesting. Destroy a demon. At the start of your turn, given that random friendly minion health. Deal 3 damage to your hero. Choose an enemy at the minion at the start of the turn, destroy it. Whenever you discard a card, we'll do discard decks. Do 1 damage if it kills a minion, draw a card. Some of the shadow beasts will take. Wait, that's not a demon. Card. I need demons. Let's see, this will turn out to be an interesting turn of events. Dark bombs. Curse of Rafam, sure. The discard a card, draw a card. Not a demon, but whatever. It's kind of hard to play this. Ooh. Renounced Darkness should be in there. 3 health, 3 attack. Take that one. Take that one. Take that one. That's not a good one to take because that's not a demon. We're running out of cards here. We'll take those 2 out. Put that in. Whenever you summon a minion, deal 5 damage to your hero. Can't do that. Certainly that's a demon. Give you demons +1/+1. Imp Explosion, Pit Lord. Deal 5 damage to your hero. Put a random demon from your hand into the battlefield. Let's find something that's not a demon and put it in it. Take it out. Let's see, we'll get rid of that one. For this one. That one for that one. There's a demon. So. Anything more I want to play? Discard 2 random cards for a rush. Do I have Jiraxis finally? No, I don't. Alright, that's good enough to start here. Let's try and hopefully that we are done. So, I said this last time. I was really late to start recording. And I want to say it again. It has come to this at literally 30 minutes to go before the end of the day. Now, maybe, just maybe, because of time zone issues and such, there's a chance that I won't run into a problem if I can get at least one quest done really fast. Then I kind of have to also think, do I want to move on to the next quest and do 4 quests in a row? I don't have... I have a full list, but not an incredibly full list. This would cost 0, so this one still is good. And look, they even animated it as a 0 heart health thing. So, trying to play 15 demons here. Let's just hop into it. I'm gonna have to apologize here, I think. There's something we have to talk about. It's gonna get a little political, and it's pretty much just gonna be a rant at this moment. And what this is, and I'm gonna sound very biased, and frankly, I feel the same way about people and who will feel the opposite way of me. It seems to me, at first, that when I first saw the article, and before I got more information and really started to realize what had gone on here, at first it seemed like PewDiePie had done something that people... Wow, he just cost himself 7 health to draw cards. What is he going for here? I don't even know. It seems like PewDiePie went too far, which... okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play Curse of a Fan for 2, because now he has to pay 4 for it, so that is actually a very nice turn of events.
You're in trouble now.
So PewDiePie, as best as I can figure, was showing, was being PewDiePie, which he is kind of like Howard Stern. He's that shock jock radio personality. He's been that for a very long time. I don't watch his videos very often, nor do I really even like him as a YouTuber or anything. I don't think he does a particularly great job of being a video game critic or even showing games off in any light or informative light. Let me put it that way. Destroy a demon, restore 5 health to yourself. Seriously? So, I suppose he knew I was gonna win there. That helps with the Tavern Brawl. Let's go ahead and open this. There's some Hearthstone expansion information. I probably won't even get to it today. Tomorrow, next recording for me. So, at first it seemed that PewDiePie had just gone too far. He was showing off specifically this website called Fiverr, where you could pay $5 and have people in other countries do whatever you asked of them within some reason, you would think, but not really, because what he did as a joke is he had some people who looked like they were in India or Africa. It looked like Africa to me, but maybe India. Hold up a sign that said "Death to all Jews," which this is what almost every dirty comic has done, is made a Jew joke. So many Jewish comedians have made a Nazi joke. And he told them specifically to pronounce that, since they didn't know what they were doing, as "please subscribe to Markiplier." So that's what they did for $5, and he was showing off just how silly it could be, and how there really aren't any limits in this service. I've never even heard of this service Fiverr, but PewDiePie doesn't really want to do video games. Obviously, he hasn't for a while, so he's just doing his personality comedy stuff, and all of that. And on the face of it, that's looks like what he did. That looks like it's all of his fault, and he just blew it big time, and that's the end of that. Until I started to think about it and get some more information. And the next bit of information, the part in the first article that came out, was that Disney's Maker Studios is distancing themselves from him, and then it later came out that YouTube is distancing themselves from PewDiePie. So, what came about that more than anything was the idea is, why did Disney Maker Studios exist, and why was PewDiePie in any way affiliated with it? Turns out that PewDiePie was on a network on YouTube, which is insane. The most highest earning YouTuber who's making potentially millions and millions of dollars, at least he was, is affiliated with a place, and they're taking what, a 30% cut, even a 10% cut. You're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. What in the world would they be doing for PewDiePie? Maybe they were defending copyright content IDs. God knows that it seems like content IDs never stop, and they seem to be cycling too. My Lego Star Wars stuff, it's like I fought these content IDs and disputed them and won, and all of a sudden they're coming back like 6 months later, a year later. Let's do it again. I'm like, wait a minute, no, I already fought and won. Why does YouTube allow people to just automatically detect it? And I think it's probably some scam they're running where they give the person in charge of doing automatic detection to a different company, and so all of the things that were automatically detected seem to just show up again, and that's exactly the kind of work that no YouTuber deserves on their channel, is to go back to a 6-month-old video that's probably not going to get very many views or be in any way helpful
as the master
to their channel, and yet they have to fight these content IDs again, and it's just silly and unfair. And frankly, it seems like it can just constantly happen. Anyways, I'm talking about content IDs though, and that should be talking about PewDiePie. So it turns out Disney bought the affiliate network that PewDiePie was with, specifically to get money off of PewDiePie and work with him. And so this then comes down to, it's 100% of Disney's own business to know who they're getting in business with. And it's unrealistic to believe for a second that they didn't know who PewDiePie was or the kind of comedy he's made. And the idea that he's gone too far is not realistic. No, these jokes are right in line, slightly, maybe just an inch further than what he's done before. But not really. That's who PewDiePie is. He is that Howard Stern shock jock type of personality, and that's why people like to watch him, whether those people are kids or adults. It's a pointless argument to make that certainly people were trying to make saying, well, maybe he's got 50 million kids and he's influencing all these kids with these anti-Semitic views. And it's like, oh man, you are just totally not being realistic or fair to the situation. You're looking at it from such a biased concept. And literally people are calling him a Nazi, which is slander. In fact, that's exactly what this is. Wall Street Journal slandered PewDiePie so that they could have people read the article, which is behind a paywall, and he should sue them. They literally intentionally slandered him, calling him a Nazi and intentionally misconstruing jokes. That he's made like 2 or 3 jokes in probably the past year, which frankly I probably have in my own personal life made more Nazi jokes as an amateur comedian, which PewDiePie came back and said, yeah, I consider myself an amateur comedian, and that's it. So Wall Street Journal clearly intentionally attacked him to hurt him. They timed this slanderous article right before his YouTube Red series Scare PewDiePie was about to go through. I have no clue how much he's really losing. Maybe he would actually eventually just gain things by not being with a network. But the fact that they made YouTube distance himself from him, particularly, has most definitely cost him money. This is a downright attack on PewDiePie to just get clicks, and probably because they don't like him. That's about it. And who doesn't like him? Well, Wall Street Journal doesn't like him at the very least. That's who. Is there some mentality or type of people in the Wall Street Journals, cough, SJWs? Maybe. But in the end, we know that's not even relevant. In the end, all we know is Wall Street Journal intentionally financially harmed him and slandered him. And because of it, Disney distanced themselves and kicked him out of his network, which will probably hurt him financially somehow, but I don't know really how much. Maybe it's possible. It doesn't, but YouTube most definitely hurt him because they've canceled his YouTube Red show, Scare PewDiePie, which honestly now, as a end user, if you have YouTube Red, and this only hurts me personally to say this because I actually get more money, way more money per viewer when people watch my videos and have YouTube Red instead of people who don't have it. But if you got YouTube Red, or if you're upset that Scare PewDiePie is not one of the few special exclusive video series, and it's not there anymore, I would certainly call customer service and cancel it, and possibly even go as far as dispute the charges on my credit card, because you've personally now been cost money, cost entertainment.
The truth is in here.
That worked out rather well. That was very much what I was hoping for. So yeah, that's gone. They've also, YouTube has kicked PewDiePie out of this Google Preferred program, which is a program I didn't know about. And see, this was what's most interesting personally to me, since I really don't care about PewDiePie. I only personally kind of care about people being unfairly slandered. Uh, and just drug through the uh, mud for some ridiculous vendetta, or maybe just for clicks through a paywall on Wall Street Journal.
Let me think.
See, if Wall Street Journal's article actually calls him a Nazi, that is provable he is not. Because to be a member of the Nazi Party would, at the very least, require him to be a member of some organization called the Nazis. And there are no Nazis in Germany, and inherently, the only people you could actually call a Nazi and not slander is somebody who used to be a member of the Nazi Party, because it doesn't exist anymore. Or possibly if there's another party. But it's clear he is not. There's no way to see it any different way. The jokes he's making don't make any sense at all if he is being serious. What he would say, what he's doing, what he's saying, if he seriously meant any of that, would just not be logically spoken.
I wonder.
And it's just so dumb.
I'll find it.
Let's go ahead and see if we can win here.
Almost out of time.
But yeah, apparently Google preferred, and I know I'm kind of just ranting here, is this winners and losers, well, frankly, just winners that are handpicked to succeed by YouTube and Google. Literally, everybody in the Google preferred is the top tier of an ad bracket, where people specifically are going to get as much ad revenue on YouTube for their buck. So YouTube is specifically picking channels and saying, these are the people that we think will get you the most amount of money. And so yeah, they're picking winners. And in picking winners, there's some weirdness still going around in that, because they have Captain Sparkles I looked under the video game category of their preferred listings, and they have about 15 of the biggest YouTubers on video games, and they are the biggest video YouTubers on in video games, probably because Google has sanctified them as the chosen ones, effectively. And they have Captain Sparkles, and when you look at Captain Sparkles things, very, very much about selling themselves.
Let me think.
Several videos are sponsored content things and showing off things, particularly sponsored contents for Google itself. So he is totally talking to directly and working with YouTube and getting so much special access and so much special treatment. And a lot of his videos kind of are just somewhat clickbaity too, which is a side note. And then they also have Sunny, and Sunny is a Minecraft player, and just recently he has gotten more and more extreme in his own videos, so he's only a couple steps away from actually being the next person to for something like this to happen to, because he's doing these 100 Ways to Die series, and in the 100 Ways to Die series you
I'll find it.
They're taking bets and basically punishment games at the on whoever loses, and it started with silly things like stick your head in this bath gel and see how long you can hold your breath, and then it went to wax his legs or use a number of wax strips on different parts of his body, his legs, under his arms, under his
Let
chin,
me
which
think.
frankly I think under his chin he very possibly could have hurt himself very badly. And then it stepped up to him getting shot with air pellets, and now it's been stepped up to him shocking himself with a dog collar. So I mean, he's actually hurting himself right now doing these dangerous things, and he's a kid's Minecraft YouTuber. He doesn't cuss that much, although both Captain Sparkles and Sunday do occasionally let out a cuss word. So if that was an issue, they shouldn't be in Google Preferred either. But he's being very, like, very dangerous in what he's doing, and frankly, he's letting the audience suggest more and more dangerous things, and of course, trolls on the internet or kids are gonna push him to do more dangerous actions. So yeah, I could totally see that. The other people on the Google Preferred program are everybody you see on the trending tab, basically. The trending tab is clearly now proven to me that it is 100%, well, at least it used to be 100% hand-picked videos from hand-picked channels, and you had no chance for the trending to be on trending unless they wanted you to be on trending, which maybe that's changing, because in the past couple of weeks I have started seeing things on trending that should not be on trending. Stolen clips of Family Guy, stolen clips of Arrested Development on trending. This is not the developer on the rise, artist on the rise thing. That, in my opinion, actually is a decent move, and the fact that that they started with some really weird channels, like a furry was one of the very first channels that they had. I think that kind of gives it some legitimacy. Now, I still don't like the artist on the rise thing, because they need to kick out Vimeo completely. Otherwise, artist on the rise is always going to be Vimeo. It just is. And that's not helping build the audience anyway. It doesn't help one bit if Viacom, which is struggling. I don't really have a story about that, but turns out that Viacom has decided to hunker down and change lots of its channels that are secondary channels into its 5 main properties, which I think is CBS. No, CBS got split off of Viacom, and I think it's like USA, Lifetime Movie Network, stuff like that. Those 3 others for their main 5. And Spike TV is gonna be renamed something like Lifetime something.
You are not the boss of me.
Job's done.
Oh man, that was a waste. I could end the game right here. I just needed to play one more demon, but we'll play this game through. So yeah, then the entire episode is really just a rant. Well, this entire episode is really just a rant. Again, I must just off the back, I don't like PewDiePie at all. I don't watch him. I don't like his content. I don't think he does a good job. I don't like that he has a huge audience of bros. I don't like the concept of bros at all. But in the end, he is the exact pinnacle example of a successful YouTuber. And if his career can be destroyed or heavily hurt by a slanderous newspaper, and I should also mention that several other newspapers just did copy and pasted the same attitudes, same things. I think I'm probably watching the wrong reporters, but like a slanderous newspaper severely hurt him, and if it can happen to PewDiePie with his 50 million subscribers, who's to say it doesn't happen to any YouTuber the next day? Now, on this, if I can just briefly make an argument. We have right now going on in the United States, which is a deeply divided country. I'm gonna probably just start saying that every time I mention the United States. We have a president who is, from my opinion, waging an all-out war against any news agency or article or leaker of information that the government actually knows to be true as fake news, and anything negative for our president is fake news, and it shouldn't be trusted, that the news is biased against him, that it's all lies, and none of that should be believed. Now, I don't believe what he's saying. However, in this critical time, it's really hard to keep faith in the news media when they get caught blatantly lying about something small. Like, if people are gonna lie about something small or just make up articles, and Wall Street Journal is supposed to be this huge, important, integrity-filled news agency. Maybe I'm giving it too much credit, and that's the problem. If they're supposed to have credibility, well, they've now lied as far as I'm concerned. And so, how can I give it credibility? And if I can't give it credibility at this point, you're literally convincing me to believe what the president's saying. And this is insanity going on in my head right now. Total insanity. That I might become believing that every single possible bad article or leak that comes out for President Trump is fake news. But I mean, I don't believe that's true. But you've moved me an inch closer to believing it might be true with Wall Street Journal. You've destroyed the credibility of the news agencies. You haven't destroyed it, but you're getting closer. And that's not a good way to go regardless. Like, that is a terrible way for our country to go. Is to potentially convince me to not trust the media and only trust one source. That's crazy. That's insanity. And because you've heard the credibility on a stupid smear campaign. It's ridiculous. How many other times I now have to wonder, has a company, a news company, just smeared a person and lied about them and blown things out of proportion and exaggerated? It is also the thing with Milo Yiannopoulos. I do think he's a troll. I do really believe it. But I also am totally willing to believe that every day some online news journal is making up something that's just not true about him too. And So now I'm giving more credibility to the people that I wouldn't have given credibility to. I really used to trust the media.
So many
I used to watch
possibilities.
CNN specifically every
I
day
can
for
ease your pain.
years and years until I have had my fill of that. But like, but now I don't know, and I haven't really seen CNN do too much, and I still turn it on a lot. Oddly too, right now my TV package, which I'd like to get rid of my TV package completely and not have any, my TV source for news is I can either watch local news, which is probably not worth watching for anything, because all they do is repeat it. If I watch Fox local news, I get a repeat of Fox News, or I can watch like ABC News local news, which is just repeats of ABC News, which I don't watch that very much. I can either watch local news, or I can specifically, I should have done one damage. Or I can watch CNN. I don't have right now. My TV package, my TV provider does not even offer Fox News, which I kind of want to watch now. I kind of want to try and compare the two. I kind of wish there was more than 2 24-hour news networks that I could name.
Put your
like,
faith in the light.
yes, of course, there's Headline News Network, but they don't even show news.
For duty.
Most of my news is coming from me through YouTube, and I check out the news trending tab, which in itself is not a very great source for news. Under the tag of news. Let's see, I can do 10 so I can win here.
As the master wishes.
If I could kill this guy. Give your opponent 2 bananas. Announce this at the end of your turn. Let's go ahead and play. Whenever a character is healed, give Cthulhu +1/+1.
Do you know the secret handshake? As the master wishes.
So, yeah, it's not a good turn of events, and this should have never happened. And I hope PewDiePie sues Wall Street Journal. I think, if I can think back, I think the Wall Street Journal got purchased by somebody who's certainly trying to push his own agenda, where it may have been a reputable website at some point, and that's a big issue too. In the end, I think a lot of the news things were held to a higher standard legally before, and that got repealed, unfortunately. And that led towards reporting just ridiculous things, wrong things, slander pieces, attack pieces.
I must move quickly.
Even PewDiePie's own video responses by half of the people who have obvious agendas, which all of the news agencies, well, I would say about half of the news agencies I see do seem to have a heavy bias and agendas. That they're coming back and saying that PewDiePie just went on an angry rant, and I mean, it's just yellow journalism all over it. It's totally unfair and totally unacceptable. If you were gonna report on this, it would just be like one line, really. That's at least the headline would be, YouTuber PewDiePie makes a joke, Disney not happy. Disney YouTube not happy. That would be the unbiased way of doing it, and you would try very hard to be as unbiased as possible. And now a lot of people are making the argument that nobody is completely 100% unbiased, which, okay, I'm willing to buy that, but they're making that argument just so then they can do completely biased attack pieces, and that's not right. I hope I'm not doing that when I review a game. I don't think I really have any reason to be biased against any video game company. The only company that I do have a bias against would be Nintendo, and I still kind of love Nintendo. And the only reason I'm not covering them is because they were content idea. So my bias, if the one I can think of, would be against Nintendo because they don't have any PC games. Or same way, my bias is against Xbox and PlayStation games because they're not on PC. So I don't cover them. I certainly don't go out and do slander pieces. I don't think. I give my opinion. I think the Switch doesn't look like it's starting off on the greatest of foot, but I haven't seen it. I haven't played it. I don't know anything about it. It's not out for sale yet. I don't think I've ever even touched an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. I like my Xbox 360. I still use my PlayStation 3 right now to stream Netflix and things. So it's a good device, at least for streaming. I guess I would say link back to this video if you ever feel that I've done something like what the Wall Street Journal did. Although I have ranted, and I will rant again. Sorry about that. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media, there's a whole bunch of links down below. I suppose it is also possible that I'm taking this a little personally because it was a fellow YouTuber. Although, let's face it, I am nowhere near in the same league as PewDiePie. But I would like to think, no, if I saw this happening to anybody else, it's that should be stepped out too. They probably have said some slanderous things about Donald Trump too. Almost certainly, yeah, I can think of at least one thing that's rumored out there that they leaked, and that was probably inappropriate to bring up. But there's other reasons for that. Anyways, we're going long. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening. No more ranting.